At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners and Humana. News is also brought to you by Pahrump Dermatology and Skin Cancer. When you need the best dermatology care in Pahrump, call Pahrump Dermatology and Skin Cancer, 775-727-9800. News is also brought to you by Barry Levinson and Associates, Pahrump's Bankruptcy Center. When it comes to important matters like bankruptcy, call an experienced, compassionate attorney. Call the Bankruptcy Center of Pahrump. Call 775-727-4747. News is also brought to you by Tire Works Total Car Care. Not your typical tire and service company. Guaranteed lowest prices on tires. Your one-stop shop for all automotive needs. Call 775-751-6100 or 702-365-TIRE.
Tonight on News 46, an alleged child sexual predator has been arrested.
A disabled veteran is claiming unlawful eviction.
A 2-vehicle accident sends one to the hospital. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rick Vale and Rhonda Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell and news across Nevada with Janet Eric. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, September 22nd, 2011. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
And I'm Janet Eric, in for Rick Vale this week. Now, topping our news, a 2-vehicle accident on Homestead north of Terrrible's Lakeside required one woman to be transported with injuries.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
We're on Homestead, just north of Lakeside, where a 2-vehicle accident occurred this afternoon. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies who blocked the roadway in both directions, diverting traffic around the accident scene. Apparently, a truck and a smaller compact car collided in front of Strickland Construction Company. One woman was transported with injuries they say is from a seat belt. She's going to be checked over. She was transported here locally, and the other vehicle was a Strickland construction truck that no one was injured on scene. They did, however, check out all occupants, and they were released. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Homestead near Rockendock for News 46.
An alleged repeat child molester has been taken into custody. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued an official press release.
61-year-old Douglas Todd Lund of Pahrump has been arrested and booked on 2 counts of lewdness with a child under 14 years old and 2 counts of child sexual abuse with a child under the age of 14. There's 2 unnamed juvenile females who are the victims of this. Nye County Sheriff's deputies took a report from 2 juvenile females alleging that Douglas Lund had been sexually lewd with them on several occasions. Subsequent investigation revealed that Douglas Lund had been sexually lewd with these 2 juveniles on dozens of instances during a time period spanning several years. Douglas Lund was arrested and was booked into the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center and is currently being held on $30,000 bail. No further information relating to the juvenile female victims is being released in order to protect their identities pursuant to the Nevada Revised Statute. Anyone with additional information relating to Douglas Lund and these crimes is urged to contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
A disabled veteran is suing after being evicted from his longtime residence.
Edgar Jr. Smith II is retired law enforcement, military police, military. He was even a presidential guard. He has many law enforcement background professions that he's done in his lifetime. We're here on Oak Ridge, where recently him and some others were evicted from this home. We're going to speak to him right now about what they are calling an illegal eviction process.
The police came in last Thursday and said, they beat on the door, said, you got 15 minutes to get your property out of the house. And I said, there's over $1 million worth of property here. There's no way it can be moved. They said, you got 15 minutes. So I grabbed the important stuff and left, just as they ordered me to do.
So what's going on? You got evicted?
Yes, actually. Payments were made on this place for about 9 years straight. And when the man's father had passed away, they refused to take payments. Then they went through this illegal eviction or illegal sale of the property that they did for lack of payment after they refused the payments.
Let's speak about how you have a flag upside down here and some crime scene tape. What's that about?
Basically, I put the or a friend of mine put the crime scene tape up for me. And then I decided to put the flag upside down or have him put it upside down. But we did change a little bit on the flag. The stars are silver, not white.
So what does that mean?
Actually, it means that distress, that you're in distress. It's a national distress symbol.
In a state of emergency. Yes, ma'am. The flag upside down is a state of emergency through their actions that they're doing.
So the crime scene tape for what purpose?
Crime scene tape was to keep people off the property.
And so, do you know when the first time that you got notified that there was an action being taken?
3 days before the sale that they did. Other than that, we had no prior communication with them because they refused to communicate.
What month was that?
Oh, June, I believe, 2 years ago.
So we're going to be presenting evidence that shows that you have made these payments, that this home is actually in your name at this point, because you said that it's actually a matter of record now that this home is in your name.
Yes, ma'am. At the National Registry Office for the Land Foundation for the United States, it is registered as his property.
And you have a dog, too, as well.
Yes, ma'am. He's in my car. That's why the air conditioning's going.
So you have to stay wherever you can stay at this point.
Wherever I can find somebody who will let me stay, and that's it.
If there's anybody that would like to contact you to give you any advice or help you out, where can they call you?
Well, they could probably call me at my number. It's 775-209-2292.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, thank you very much.
My number, too. My number is 775-513-3023.
Everyone, this is Bob Irving, and normally he's behind the camera. However, he's our model today because he has on one of our new t-shirts. There's the back. Scoot over a little closer to me, Bob. Okay, turn around again. And one more time.
I love local TV.
I love local TV and got news. It's all free. All right, thank you so much, Bob. And the reason why he's modeling that shirt for you is because we are going to have lots of them to give away at the Pahrump Fair Festival at our booth. So make sure that you come on by and we'll tell you how you can get a free t-shirt. So coming up after the break, the fate of the Pahrump Community Garden.
And luck has changed for a couple of horses.
All this and more right after the break, so please keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Their healthcare center is now open in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine.
Well, the idea came from the heart, but as they say, no good deed goes unpunished. K9's Karen Jackson and Commissioner Gary Hollis. The idea of helping the needy in Pahrump by creating a community garden was a wonderful idea, which will now end officially next month. Karen Jackson explains.
Well, it started last spring. We'd been trying to get it together for a year. Finally, we did get it together, and the garden has been growing. However, we've had numerous people problems. Commissioner Hollis and I were more than okay with having to deal with the water problems, the pump problems, the whatever problems, but the people problems. They had a community garden leader, but he would not communicate with me. And I don't know if he communicated with the rest of the garden members or not. But Commissioner Hollis and I started getting 10, 15 phone calls a day. Really unnecessary calls. And the insurance was coming due, and we tried to put a stop to the phone calls with no success. So the insurance was coming due. Gary and I sat down to really discuss this. And I had no problem. I pay the monthly electric bill there, and I was having no problem with paying and renewing the insurance. But then the group overstepped the bounds. We cannot harass the generous businesses that are helping us for free. And that was really the deciding point for me when they started calling the businesses.
The premise behind this community garden was to help people who had no land to garden, to help feed their families. Really kind of just a good-hearted premise.
It was, and I found out by talking to some of the less fortunate in the community, because I would say to them, why aren't you gardening? And several of them had said to me, we went to the garden, but we did not feel welcome. So that was another deciding factor.
You mean by other members, other gardeners that were there?
By other gardeners. So the garden did not fail. What failed is the people.
It seems so ironic that something that came so from the heart turned out to be such a problem with the people who are actually there.
I was quite surprised. I really was. And then the last leak that we had was pretty severe. Water was running down the street. So I contacted everybody by email, said, please, you must shut off the water. I cannot get a backhoe in there, it will sink. The water wasn't being shut off. So after 3 days, Gary went in and locked it down so that we could get a backhoe in. Well, someone went over the fence and pried the lock off. So there are a lot of people problems,
Now, the gardeners do have an option of paying the yearly insurance themselves, which is $1,200. KPVM had a caller today that thought the gardeners should make a parade float in the Pahrump Fair and Festival Parade to show off what they've grown to get support to pay the yearly fee.
Very good. All right, well, 2 horses have been saved by Nye County Animal Control. One local resident has taken them in and is caring for the starved animals. Zach Fuentes reports.
Well, a friend of ours called and said that there was 2 horses out on 160 in Leslie, and we went and acquired them yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and they were in very, very poor condition.
How long do you think that they were neglected for?
Oh, at least 6 months. At least 6 months.
And do you know about how old they are and their age or anything?
I consulted a vet, and he said that with one of them that had just lost his incisors, about 2 years old.
Wow. And so you, apparently you cannot feed horses. You can't just throw a bale of hay in there or anything. You have to give them a little bit of food at a time to get them back up to par. What do you have to do? What is the procedure for that?
With a starving horse, it's called refeeding syndrome, and actually if you throw all the food that they can eat, then their kidneys and everything shut down. And so you do a special program where you feed every 2 hours, 2 pounds per horse of a good quality, high carbohydrate diet, and make sure that they have clean, fresh water at all times.
So what kind of feed are they eating right now?
Right now they're on straight alfalfa, which is really hard for me because I feed a grass hay, but that's what UC Davis recommends, is a straight alfalfa.
And you have a lot of experience with horses. You have horses at your place. How many do you have here?
There's 9 now, which were over full already, but this is a special case. So
on a scale of like 1 to 10, for example, where are your horses that you have for yourself, and where are these horses?
All of my horses are conditioned up, and they have plenty of weight on them. They're all at a 10. These horses they're lucky to be a 1.
A 1.
If that.
Wow. And so what are your plans once if these horses get back up to where they need to be?
The critical point for them is the next 3 to 10 days on feed and everything to make sure that their system goes back to working normal. I'm fostering these horses. They will eventually find permanent homes. It's going to take 6 months at least to get them back up to health. So we are hoping that someone would be able to step forward and adopt these horses.
And how are the horses around people? Do you think that their abuse was just only neglected? Do you think there was any physical abuse involved? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they've just been neglected as far as feed goes. I don't think that they've been abused. I don't see any scars or anything, halters left on or anything. Their feet were taken care of. They were trimmed. So I don't think that there was, I think it was just neglect and maybe not knowing how to feed a horse.
So their feet were trimmed, but they were not fed.
Correct. Which is kind of a good thing because we don't actually have to address the feet because that would be more stress on the horse. So we want to keep as less stress for them as possible.
And now you had mentioned earlier to me before the interview that Windrock had an account open. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we're in a situation where we're going to feed them. It's going to cost, $17.50 for one bale of hay. Hay prices are extremely high right now. So if our community could come together, and Windrock has an account with Robert Tibbetts down there, that if somebody wanted to donate some money for hay, that it would go directly to the horses, or fly spray or fly mask. Like I said, we feed our horses something totally different. And I would just hope that the community could come together and help bring these two little angels back to health and find a good home for them.
And so you don't plan on keeping these horses. You do have 9 horses, I believe you said. So you do hope to adopt them to a good home. If somebody is interested in eventually adopting them, how can they get a hold of you?
They can call my cell phone at any time and I'll answer. It's 702-285-9743. And they can contact me if they would like to come out and volunteer helping with the horses or learning more about the horses. They're more than welcome to come out.
If you haven't had a chance to relax and enjoy your surroundings, this Friday and Saturday night is just the time. Take a relaxing drive to Tacoma Hot Springs and join in the Star Party. Now we speak to Jason Kolbentz.
Yes, out at the Tacoma Hot Springs Resort every year we have star parties that run all season long from September till May. And what we have is an 11-inch Celestron telescope with a Mallancam, which is a custom-made video camera that we attach to the eyepiece and broadcast it over televisions or large screen monitors. And we have actually quite a view when we explore the universe. I mean, full color, almost National Geographic, but it's quite an experience.
Do you know how long they've been doing these?
Several years now, I'd say 4 or 5 years. I'm not quite sure. It was started a long time ago by a man by the name of Jason Davis. And he's actually the one who taught me how to do it and took over. He lives up in Utah, and he used to bring out like a 29-inch telescope, which is about 9 or 10 feet tall. And we all got hooked on the idea of how exciting it could be to, check out different things in the universe.
So tell me about the technical aspects of this, because when you're actually looking, when you're actually aiming it, how close can we actually see?
And we see objects, they're millions of light years away, and it's kind of surprising because the clarity that we're getting on these images are quite stunning, actually, for a little amateur setup in the back of the resort here. Mm-hmm. And it's GPS oriented, so once we lock in, the GPS kind of takes over, and we move with the rotation of the Earth, so we can stay locked on the object and look at it for long periods of time.
That's amazing. Is the public invited?
Anybody's invited. It's a free show. It's actually right next door to Pastel's Bistro, which is having their opening this weekend after being off all season. And it's amazing food and it's an amazing time. We also, sometimes we get a little crazy. We like to have drums and different instruments out and, just make some noise, have a good time and to the night. And anybody's welcome to come out and check it out.
What kind of things should people bring with them? Do they need any equipment, chairs? Should they bring snacks, or is the Pastel's Bistro open for them?
I would bring snacks if you're not wanting a full meal. I would bring chairs for comfort. It's still warm out right now, so don't worry too much about blankets or anything like that. But as winter, as we get closer to winter, it does cool off out there, and it gets quite cold. But it's still actually the best views are late in wintertime.
So this is a great event to go to as well. And this will be happening every month. Will we know when they're happening, or is there a phone number or contact information?
Actually, both. We have a full schedule, and we do have a phone number. It's 760-852-4420. and just ask about the star parties. They usually happen on the weekend closest to the new moon, which is one of the darkest, times of the month, so that we can look at the sky with much, when the moon's in place, it's kind of hard to see everything that's going on up there.
So this is Friday and Saturday night. What time?
About an hour after sunset, we usually start broadcasting.
And for more information, they can call that number, but it's located where in Tacoma?
Tacoma Hot Springs Resort.
Have you been out there?
No, I haven't, and I've always wanted to go.
Me too. I especially want to go now.
Yeah, and that bistro that they have, I understand that the chef that owns that is a 5-diamond chef.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. Okay, well, the Las Vegas-based Affinity Gaming remade a portion of its operation through a series of transactions, including a deal that will put the Herbst family back into the gaming business.
That's right. Affinity sold a portion of its slot machine route business to Golden Gaming, who owns the Pahrump Nugget. In addition to Golden Gaming acquired Terrible's Town and Terrible's Lakeside in Pahrump.
The sale prices of these transactions were not disclosed and are expected to close in 2012, pending approval from the Nevada and Colorado gaming authorities.
Now, Domino's Pizza on Frontage Road has had a management change also, and we spoke to Eric Howell.
Well, Domino's, of course, has been in Pahrump now for 16 years, and the previous franchisee was going to close the store, and my partner and I decided to keep the store open. 15 jobs lost in Pahrump Valley is really a tough deal, and we did a quick buy on the store and stepped in to keep the store open. So right now we're financially responsible, and we're in the process of finalizing the franchisee paperwork.
Wow, so this is going to stay open here. And Domino's, I know they've done a lot of new advertising about changing their product a little bit, improving their product. How's business?
Business, it's picking up. It's doing well. Pahrump Valley's always been a great supporter. I mean, everybody in this city really loves our pizza, and we love them. Like tonight with the fundraiser here, we've got a special going on where for every pizza I sell that's carried out, we're donating $1 to the high school band. And we have a new artesian pizza, which is coming out starting on the week of the 26th. It's a $7.99 specialty gourmet pizza. So it's going to be incredible, and I really suggest people try it.
I know Domino's has typically been involved in the community. How important it is for a business to get involved in something like this?
I think it's very important because, the community supports us, supports our business, and it's only fair for us to turn around and send that support back to the community. Domino's itself has always been a strong supporter of its communities wherever their stores are.
I know that nights like tonight, Friday nights, real busy for you guys, and you have delivery drivers out there all the time, and some of the specials that you have.
The specials that we have right now is you can get 2 large, any number of toppings you want for $10.99.
There you go. And you kept the 15 jobs, so everybody's doing good now?
Oh, absolutely. We retained everybody here. We've only lost one person, and that's because she chose to work with a new company that's opening up here.
And we're on Frontage Road. Tell the phone number for people to order pizza.
751-3030.
All this talk about pizza is making me hungry.
I know.
I love pizza. It's one of my favorite foods.
Oh, it's delicious.
That's not fair.
I know.
I wish broccoli was my favorite food.
Well, you can learn to love it.
Okay, fine. Yeah, if it's smothered with cheese. Okay. Coming up, we'll have Zach Fuentes with a look at our weather. Don't go away.
News 46 Weather is brought to you by Healthcare Partners Medical Group, with 5 locations in Pahrump. Local doctors and professional staff providing total care from infancy to seniors. News 46 Weather is also brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Welcome back to News 46. I'm Zach Fuentes here with your weather. Today we did have partly cloudy skies that kind of blocked the sun out in certain areas of the day, and a high of 97 degrees or winds coming out of the south-southwest at 3 miles per hour and gusted up to 7 miles per hour, although there was some kind of powerful gusts coming in every now and then. Our pressure was at 30.9 and our UV index is at 8, which is very high. Humidity at 13%, and our sunrise was at 6:31 a.m. and our record for today was back in 1949 at 104 degrees. Tonight we're looking at some clear skies, maybe those clouds disappearing a little bit. A low of 70 degrees and winds coming out of the north at 2 miles per hour. Our gusts at up to 5 miles per hour. Our humidity to go up at 20%. Sunset's looking to be at 6:41 p.m. And our record was 51 degrees back in 1944. Tomorrow we are looking at it to be sunny, a high of 98 degrees, and our overnight low to be at 70 degrees. Our winds coming out the south-southwest at 3 miles per hour, and our gusts at up to 8 miles per hour. Our UV index is going to go down a little bit, which is something we're not too used to, at 7, which is high. And our sunrise is going to be at 6:32 a.m. Humidity at 13% once again. Okay, 7-day forecast, like I said, Friday is going to be 98, overnight low of 70. Saturday is looking to be partly cloudy once again. 94 is going to be our high, 63 our low. Sunday through Wednesday, sunny skies, we're staying in the 90s. Thursday, we're going to go back down into the 80s, and it will be partly cloudy. And like you might have heard earlier in the newscast, I kind of do have some bad news. Saturday, the Saturday of Harvest Fest, October 1st, it's looking like we're going to have a 60% chance of rain. That is still kind of far away in the distance, but we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. We hope that doesn't happen, but usually when there's like a 20% chance of rain, it does end up happening. But we're going to keep our eye on it, okay? Today's worst weather was back in 96, South Carolina, where they had heavy thunderstorms, and I'm going to come back in and give it back to them at the desk.
Well, the fall weather is starting to creep in, slow but sure, towards the end.
Jackets. So hopefully it's not going to rain on our parade.
I know. I don't want it to rain on our parade. But you know what? We're going to be there rain or shine, because the parade is on Tuesday night's agenda for the town board, and I think it will be saved. Well, that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
And I'm Janet Arrett.
And from everyone up here on the Hill at KPVM, we wish you a safe evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Till then, good night, Pahrump.
Good night.